Hello everyone, this is Kathy from Paper Garden Projects. I thought I'd share with you today a brief tutorial on how to import DXF files into your Silhouette Studio software. DXF files are universal files that can be imported and then converted into studio files to be used with your electronic cutter. So to import the file, it's pretty simple. You just go up to File, Open, and you need to navigate to where you stored your DXF file. When you open it, you won't see it initially because the default here is for it to choose studio files. But if you click the little down arrow and move down here to AutoCAD Exchange file, with you can see it has the DXF suffix there. Choose that and you'll see that your file then appears. So you just select it, hit OK, and it opens. Now we're going to work with this file to convert it into a studio file. One of the first things I recommend that you do is to group all of the pieces of the file that you want to stay together, because these are actually in different pieces when they come in, and as you're moving this file around or flipping it or arranging it so it fits on the paper the way you want it to be, you can inadvertently mess it up and get the lines separated from each other, and then you gotta figure out how to put it all back together. So my advice is the first thing to do is to group it. So you just go through and you select it all, and then you go up here to Object, Group. You can also select it all and use the shortcut of Control-G. So now you have all of your lines, and I'm using a Cameo. So I'm going to use a 12 by 12 cutting mat, but I just want to do this on letter size paper, so I'm going to choose letter size paper, and it's convenient for me to use the portrait. So now I can just grab this thing and move it so that it's where I want it to be on the paper to cut, so that it stays on the whole paper. And you can see if I hadn't grouped it and I just grabbed the outer line, it would have left all these inner dotted lines behind, and then it would have been all uneven and I would have had to try to fix it. Okay, so this is still gray. One of the things you should also do is check to make sure that your cut lines are cut lines. And the way to do that is to click the scissors icon, and you can see that they all turn red. If for some reason they don't turn red, what you should try first is clicking the line icon and then going back to the scissors icon. If that doesn't work, you can also try choosing if it will let you just choose the cut. But you should come up with the cutting lines right away. So now I'm ready to cut it. I can do the cutting the way I normally would do. To select, I need to select the kind of paper that I want to use, make sure that my speed, thickness, and setting for my blade is correct, and then go ahead and cut it. And once I'm done cutting it and I like it, I can save it as a studio file. It will ask you to save it. If it's a file that you think you might want to use often, you can also choose File, Save to Library, and you'll get a dialog box up here where you can fill in the file name. You can add some keywords. So for this file name, I'll call it pencil box. Under keywords, there's a few things you might want to know. You can search on later. You might want box. I might want school, because that's good spelling. Because I might want to use it for like a back to school project. I also recommend that you tag it with whether or not, if you're someone who ever sells your things, whether or not you can use it for sales. We call it commercial use. So I'm going to tag this, since I made it myself. I know that I can use it to sell items, so I'm just going to tag it with CU. Some of the items that you purchase from different places you may not be allowed to sell, and so in that case you wouldn't tag it that way. You can put in a description if you'd like. Pencil box for 8 pencils, and then if you want to, you can add who the artist was that made it, or yourself. And then you can also categorize it. This is a regular cut. It's not a print and cut. It's not a sketch design. This just helps you find them when you're doing a search. So then you would click OK. And then if you go over to File, My Library, you can see I've been practicing, so I've done this a few times. My Own Designs, you'll see that the pencil box there. So anytime that you want to cut that pencil box again, you can just snag it out of your library. If it's not something that you're going to use very often, you don't necessarily have to put it in your library. You can just do a File, Save As, and then save it somewhere on your hard drive rather than putting it in your library if you're afraid you're going to get too many items in your library. So that's it. Very simple. With this particular pencil box, which we're giving you, you're actually going to have two files. The second file, which will also be a DXF file, has the mats that fit on there. So you would do the exact same thing for that. Hope this helps. Thank you. Bye.